Bakes, thanks for joining us after the game. Obviously, it was a frantic second half. Can you give us your breakdown of what happened today?
Sort of a bit of a broken record, I think. Thought we started well. Thought we were reasonably in control, and I think they've had one chance where I think Reece has pushed it onto the post. But we got ourselves into some good positions and didn't show enough quality. But I thought we had the vast majority of the game at that point, and then we obviously conceded a penalty. Yeah, another penalty against us. I'd have to look at it, to be honest. You know, people saying it was maybe outside the box. I don't know. But it's given 1-0, and I think it's very difficult because you know your two senior strikers missing, and I think it has an effect on confidence on the team, as into scoring goals. I mean, you know, it's not just always about forwards. Josh Jackman's got to score in the first half at 0-0. You know, it's a cut back and he's got to hit the target. He's missed it. They're the things that are costing us at the moment to get ourselves in front. It's just not quite good enough. Second half, you know, we've given a terrible goal. The lad's done well, you know, but Wellsy's let him in too easy inside, and he smashed it in the corner. We haven't shown enough desire to keep the ball out of the net, and 2-0. And obviously, we make a change and it makes an instant impact. You know, he scores his first senior goal. Arnie, who I thought done really well when he came on, and then we actually said, you know, sometimes getting back to 2-1, you actually have that impetus, and we did have the impetus, and we've obviously had chances, and then Scotty scored a great free kick, and obviously Arnie had got the lad 2 yellow cards, so he was off, and at 2-2 with 25 minutes to go, you've got to be better, and we created chances, but then so did they. And what I was really disappointed with the last 15-20 was us defensively as a side. I thought Josh, Guy and Joe in particular, you know, quite a bit came down that side, and it sort of broke for them a few times. And for me, against 10 men, they shouldn't have had the chances that they had. We've still had good chances, but yeah, to lose the games is a bitter pill to take. But you can't defend in the way we did for the second and third goal. You know, they've sort of run through us both times, which isn't how we've been conceding goals, and that's a real issue for us today. Shouldn't be sitting here having lost the game, but we are again three on the bounce, which I just said in the change rooms now, a bad run. You know, 3 games is, you know, the very worst that you come away with is a point today. Yeah, I mean, fair play to them. You know, they kept going, and they still, you know, showed a desire to get forward, and you know, but just as you can tell, I'm pretty flat because it's just I think it's unbelievable that we've ended up losing the game, but it is what it is. We have to dust ourselves down. We've got a really tough game on Tuesday now against Dartford, which isn't going to be easy. So any positives at the moment is I think Ben's getting close, and Els as well, which will help. But yeah, bitterly disappointed today.
Do you think the game on the whole kind of hinged on that penalty decision in the first half? Because obviously I thought we started a bit scrappy, but we grew into the game. We had a few chances, like you said, with Josh, and obviously that handball was given, and then it kind of.
I don't think it hit. I don't. Stopped. Listen, it's always you know, a team goes 1-0 up in this league. You can sort of sit in a little bit, but they've gone and got a second. You know, like that. That's the disappointment for me. The second goal was really poor, and the third goal, I don't think it hinged on that decision. I would say we haven't had any decisions this season. You know, we're 14 games in, we haven't had a single penalty, and we've had four against us. So, but that's nothing to do with today. You know, it's an excuse. You know, you can sit there and say, oh yeah, it's another penalty, but it's irrelevant. We had enough to get back in the game. We had enough chances to get back in the game. You know, there was some good play. You know, I'm not going to sit here and say that we were terrible or anything like that, because we weren't. But we defended poorly, and and you do that in this league and you get punished, and we got punished today, and that's why we're coming away with 0 points and they're walking away with 3 points. So lessons to be learned.
Obviously, on a positive note though, obviously you did come from 2 down to get to 2-2. Bit of quality from Scott Davies. Obviously, you must have been a bit pleased with the character they showed to get back in the game.
Yeah, but I said in the changing room, it's all very well showing character to come back into the game, but you know it counts for nothing. It absolutely counts for nothing because you've just gone and lost the game 3-2. You know they did show character, and they did show that desire to try and get that third goal and that winning goal, and we should have done. Probably should have done, but we didn't, and then we've ended up giving away a cheap goal, and that for me is criminal. You know, against 10 men. Listen, I never subscribe to the, you know, our team down to 10 men, you're going to go and win the game. It invariably ever works like that, and you know, especially when there's only 25 minutes to go, and obviously at the time they were still 2-1 in front. But once you do get that second goal, you know, immediately in the aftermath of the lad being sent off, the least you probably expect is a point. To come away with none is very, very disappointing because there's some senior players in there, but I just don't think that we defended well enough, and that's key.
Obviously, the games are coming thick and fast. Back at home again on Tuesday night.
Yeah.
How would you kind of pick the guys up and dust themselves down to get ready? Because Dartford are obviously pretty high up the table.
Yeah, it's very difficult. You know, you have to sort of try and go home and sleep on it and try and come out with the positives. You know, any positives from the game, and there were positives from the game. But you know, in football, you can get on mini runs, whether it's wins, losses, draws. That is football. We talked about it at half time. You know, three weeks on the bounce. We've probably been the better side in the first half hour, 35 minutes, and then found ourselves 1-0 down after 35 minutes, 33 minutes, and maybe 38 minutes. You know, that all of a sudden that's a mental psyche. So we've just got to try and be positive. Obviously, for me, a big positive. I thought Arnie came on and did really well. I thought he held the ball up well. You know, obviously he caused a few problems. Might have got a second goal as well. So you know there are positives to take. But when you lose at home, and I ignore the fact that Weymouth are bottom of the league or anything like that, because you know Bobby's a seasoned manager. He's gone in there. He's made a number of changes. He's brought a number of players in. You know, they've gone to Havant last week and won 2-1. So they're not a bottom team. And I think we've known in this league that every single game is you know, it's on a knife edge. It's always very difficult. And we knew that it wasn't going to be an easy game or anything like that today. So it proved. And you know, you've got to say fair play to them. They've had two brilliant away wins in a week, but we've got to look ourselves and say it wasn't quite good enough to lose that game.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Cheers.